Welcome to this part of our video tutorial course. My name is Bob, I'm a streamer for Own TV, and in this video I'm going to show you a streaming service called Streamlabs. So first of all, you gotta log in into your Twitch account and then you go to streamlabs.com. Afterwards we have the option here to log in and a window pops up where we have to click login with Twitch. If you got a YouTube account, you can log in with a YouTube as well. We have to authorize the app. And now we continue to our Streamlabs dashboard. What is Streamlabs doing? We're gonna have a look in detail in it later, but it basically manages your overlays, your donations, and so on. If you don't want Streamlabs to be in English, you can change the language here, for example to German, and it switches to German over here. For this tutorial, we're gonna leave it in English though. First of all, we're going to look at our dashboard here. As you can see in the top line, we can switch between the night mode and the day mode, which is a bit bright for my taste, but you're going to see it yourself right now. It basically turns white. So I prefer the night mode. We have notifications here. We have a Twitch channel link here. We have the language here. We got an Android app and an iOS app. And then we have our stats sorted by day. As you can see, we didn't get any donations. We have no donation revenue, any follows, no subscriptions, no host, no bits, no rates. Looks pretty poor for a Twitch channel, but this is the owned e-learning channel, so that's why there are no stats on it, because this is not an active streaming channel. We can also sort it by week, month, or year, right there. And right there we have the options we can set up later. This is the link to our tipping page, which we have to set up on Twitch. We have to choose a payment method. We can have an all-star status if you are like a premium member of Streamlabs. You have an all-star status where you get early access to some features and so on. Down here we have our recent events and live actions. We can skip an alert here, like a follow donation alert and so on. We have a mute button here. We can pause and play. We can pop it out, and we can activate follows, subs, prime subs, and so on. Activate and deactivate it. As you can see, since we're not streaming, there are no recent events here. The next tab we are looking into is the My Donations tab. There we go. As you can see, here's already our donation link. So we have to link this to this page, to our Twitch channel or our panels on our Twitch channel. And when people click on the panel, they will get to this page where they can donate. Since we didn't set up anything yet, there is nothing here, but we're gonna have a look at this later on. What else do we see here? We have a list of donations. So everybody who has donated to our channel will be mentioned in the list here. We can have our top donors this month. We can also have them by year, all time, week, or day. You can also ban donors or people. You can ban people from donating to you if they start trolling you with inappropriate messages, or if a kid stole their parents' credit card and donated, I don't know, $1 million to you. You can ban them from donating to you, just to be safe from chargebacks and so on. You can also see your cheers right here. We can also add a donation. If, for example, a donation didn't go through or you deleted it by accident and so on, you can add it right here. You can show and hide your deleted donations, and you can show your chargebacks. So if somebody donates to you, they have the option to make a chargeback, and you can see your chargebacks right here. Let's have a look at the My Subscribers tab. So as you can see here, we do not have any subscribers right now. That's because we are logged in with the owned learning channel. But what would you usually see here? Basically, this would be a list of your subscribers. So everyone who has subscribed to your channel, and you would see their Twitch name and how long or for how many months they have subscribed. And as you see here, this is not an exact list of your current subscribers because users can unsubscribe. So there could be a difference between everyone that's listed in here and your actual subscriber count, because people could have unsubscribed already, which would fake the list a little bit, but usually it's a pretty accurate list of everyone who has subscribed. And maybe you have missed a subscription in chat, then you might want to look up here who the person was who subscribed. Next on our list is the Shared Access tab. If we click on it, we get to this page. So what can we do here? First of all, we could have a look at My Access. With Streamlabs, you can give other people access to your Streamlabs account. You usually would do this for your moderators and so on, because they can help you out there. Maybe trigger an alert a second time, maybe stop an alert from happening, and so on. And in the first tab, you would see which access you have to different people's account. If you go to My Users, you can invite people to have access to your account. And how do you do that? You click on Add User right here, and then this window opens. You get to choose from two different roles. You can either send an invite for a moderator or an administrator. What is the difference? A moderator gets access to your dashboard and is able to skip and repeat alerts, while an administrator gets complete access to your account, excluding the donation settings. They won't get access to your money. And the shared settings, of course, because they can't invite people to your account as well. So the shared settings and the donation settings is something only you have access to, but the rest will be free to them to make changes and so on. So give those only to people you really trust. So if I want to add a moderator, I click on Create here, and then I get this invitation link which I send to the person I want to invite, and he has to link his account there as well. You have created invitations right here. You see the role when you have created it. You can also delete it right here. Same goes for create an invitation. If we click here, basically the same thing happens as when we click on add a user. So you can see if I create an invitation, I get to the same window. This time I'm creating an administrator. I click on create. There goes the second invitation link. I can send those out to people I want to invite here, and they will get access to my account. The next tab we're looking into is API settings. So here you can see all the apps you have connected to your Streamlabs account. You can see My Apps, the ones you created. You get app reviews. You can have your API token. So if somebody is programming an app which is connected with Streamlabs for you, you will probably need the API access token, the API socket token. So make sure you don't show that to everyone, as it says here, or as you can see here, they are already hidden right there. And you also see your widget settings. So you can reset your alert box setting here. We are not going to click that, but if you want to have your alerts, like your follow alert, subscriber alert, donation alert, and so on, if you want to have them back to default because you messed up with something or for whatever reason an app is not working with it and you need to reset it, you can simply click the reset alert box setting right here. You can also register an app. So if you have developed an app for Streamlabs, you can register it here. You need the application name, application description, phone number, email. You can whitelist users with the Twitch username. You need the URI or a redirect URI and so on. Afterwards, you can click on create. Can't do that because I haven't filled in anything of that, but that's what you want to do as a developer. We will continue to the probably most important setting on Streamlabs.com, the donation settings. So here we'll set all the things you need for your donation. And the first thing is you have to choose a donation method. For this tutorial, we're going to choose PayPal. We're going to have learning@gmail.com. You enter your PayPal email here, of course, and then we submit it. There we go. We can also have credit card, but when I click on credit card, it says I have to have a verified account, which I don't have right here because I would have to verify my email or something like that. We can have Unity Pay or Skrill as well. Those are the options you have there. This is your donation link again. We will see this multiple times in this tutorial. There you go. If I go here, this is the options we have here, but we have settings to do first. There are our settings. We have my currency. So depending on where you live, the currency in your country will be different. For me, it would be euro. So that's what I want to have set up. Then we have the donation page currency. That is the option your viewers will see when they want to donate to you. So we have detect automatically. So if someone from the US want to donate to me, they can donate in US dollars, but it will take the price as euro. You can also set one fixed currency here. Minimum amount is €1 for me. Depending on how big your channel is, you might want to have this higher, but I would recommend just leave it for 1 because there's actually, for the beginning, there is no reason to have something different. Then you have a message they can write you, and the maximum length for your message is 255 characters right there. You can have this higher or lower. You have login required, so if you check this box, donors will be required to have an account on Streamlabs and to log into their account. They say it helps you fight fraud and chargebacks. For the beginning, I would recommend just having it not checked and just leave it to what it is. Then we have the suggested amount. It's the suggestion that is given on your donation page. It will be €5. So it's just a placeholder text. They can go lower, your donors can go lower or higher if they want. Then we have preferred lingo. People have a discussion about whether we should call it a donation or if it's just called a tip, or you can have it custom. You can choose whatever you want here. I personally like the term tip more, but it's on you what you like. Here's our page again. And then we have pro viewers. So Streamlabs gives the option to actually support them as well while they are donating. And when you activate this, your donors will have some extra options to fill in when they donate. So they can do GIFs and they can do I don't know what, but this will cost a bit more, and this supports Streamlabs. You can have this on, you can have this off, however you want. For this tutorial, we turn this off. We can choose the button color here to whatever color we want. We have a donation memo, which is displayed at the top of our donation page, and it's basically your message that people should see. So we could say, thank you for your tip. It really helps out. There you go. This could be longer or shorter, whatever you want. We have a donation leaderboard. We'll see that here. Putting in the link there. And you see there is a leaderboard where people see how much people have donated already this month, weekly or all time, and the highest donation will be on top. People really do like this, so I would recommend having this on because it doesn't really hurt you if it's there or not. You can also select that the amount is displayed, so the amount of the donation is displayed on the leaderboard. You can have this on or off, however you like. Then we have the banner override. As you can see at our donation page, this is our banner, and it's chosen by default. It takes our banner from our Twitch channel, which we can see right here. There we go. It automatically chooses this one. If you want to have something different, you can choose a file here. It should be 640 times 190. I don't have a different one here. This is the one we were using in our Twitch channel already. But if you want to have something different, feel free to add it right here. You have a profanity filter. So with donations, people can write a message. And if they write something inappropriate in their message, like slurs or something like that, then it's gonna replace bad words with those little stars. You can also have replace bad words with happy words, hide message with bad words, or disable alerts containing bad words. Also, if there is a bad word detected in a donation, it's not going to be read by the beautiful voice you often hear in Twitch channel reading donations. Good. We can enable the standard bad word list. We can anonymize names containing bad words, and we have custom bad words. So you can have your custom bad words right in there, and it's going to detect them as bad words as well. You can also protect yourself from somebody leaking your name or your address. Maybe my name is Bob, and my second name is Lerone. There we go. Then I live in Main Street, and so on. You can protect yourself from leaking your personal data there. At the end, we click Save Settings. And when we go to our donation page right now, there we go. This is what it will look like. So my username is Owned Learning because this is my Twitch username. This is the amount. You see $5 or €5 suggested. There is my message. I can also add some emojis with that. And in the end, I click on tip and the donation or the tip will go through. That's the preview you got here. So this is what it will look like on screen since we haven't set up any alerts. By default, it's that little zombie running with the amount and the message and your message. Of course, Streamlabs also gives us the option to change our account settings in this tab. So what we can do here first is we can link different accounts. As you can see, we already have linked our Twitch account, but it also works for YouTube, Mixer, Facebook, or Periscope. So whatever platform you're streaming to, you can link it here. Another option are email preferences. Streamlabs offers the option so you get sent emails with your stats in them. Also, we have the email newsletter here, of course, but then we have enable email stats or stats email. What we find in here is stats such as donations, followers, and subscribers. And then we also have enable transactional emails. This is again for donation transactions, but also chargebacks. So this is basically the stats. You got this and that amount of donations, and you got so many followers this stream and so on. And here you get all the financial info you need, like somebody charged back a donation, or somebody donated X dollars to you, and so on. The last point we can look into is import. Here we can import loyalty points from different platforms. So what are loyalty points? You can give your viewers the option to earn points for watching your stream. And depending on which provider you use, they can buy something from that, or they can play chat games with their points, whatever you want. So there are many different things they can do with that. And for example, if you use Stream Elements and you want to switch to Streamlabs for some reason, you can import the loyalty points your viewers already have earned from Stream Elements into Streamlabs. So it's a very neat way. If you ever want to change platform, you can take your viewer points with you, or your viewers can take their points with you, with them, because they really like their points and they have earned them because they were watching you. So it would be unfair to actually take them away from them. And of course you could add them manually, but this would be a lot of work. So this is a very nice option we got here, and we simply have to click on import, and then we have to copy the required values from your account settings page from Streamlabs. So this of course is different for every provider, and for Depot you get like a 6-page instruction on what you would have to do and where you have to copy stuff and things. Not only can you link your Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Facebook, or Periscope to Streamlabs, you also can do integration with other services like Patreon, Extra Life, Tiltify, Razer Chroma, GameWisp, Discord, and TP-Stream. And I'm going to show you what those are. So we're going to start with Extra Life. This is a charity organization that works together with streamers, where streamers do stream for Extra Life on Twitch, and all the money they get there, they pass on to children in need. So it's a very great charity organization, do a lot of great stuff, and I think it's a good thing to support them. Same goes for Tiltify. They are also a streaming fundraising. They have different partners which you can support through them, but they also do fundraising through streamers and their community. Then we have Patreon, which is for creators or content creators out there. It's a way to get monthly subscriptions. We got this through Twitch with the subscriptions on Twitch, but if you are a musician on YouTube and you want people to be able to give you money on a monthly basis, you kind of want to have a Patreon, for example. GameWisp is basically the same thing. They offer a subscription service for gamers and streamers and content creators. Then we can also link our Razer Chroma to our Streamlabs, which would make our mouse blink or keyboard blink if we get a donation, for example. For that, we obviously need a Razer product with the fitting software to it. Then we can link our Discord, which is the new alternative to TeamSpeak. So it's a voice over IP service. You can have text channels in there. You can have voice channels in there. Everybody can have his or her own server. It's a really great way to communicate with your community. And the last thing is we have TP-Stream. They are basically a donation website, just like Streamlabs offers as well. You can have a TP-Stream account and people can donate to your TP-Stream and you get the donation on your stream. Let's have a look at the last tab under My Account, which is Widget Themes or previously Alert Profiles. What are widgets? Widgets are all the little extras you add to your stream, like an alert box, which is the box where all your notification will pop up, like your follower alert or your subscriber alert, donation alert, and so on. Maybe you also have a stream goal or a donation goal or a Streamboss and so on. We're going through all of these later on, but those are the profiles we can make for them. Why would you need a profile for your widgets? Maybe you want to have a gaming stream and a gaming talk show stream, and you want your alerts to be different depending on which stream you're doing. Then you can have two different profiles here. The first one is the default one. That one is always there, and if I change the widgets now, the changes will go into the default one. If I need another one, I can create a widget theme. I can call it talk show. Then I can say this is for when I do a talk show stream, and I create. Then if I go on use here, it will use my talk show widgets. If I go back to default, it will use my default widgets, which I set up for gaming, for example. What else can we do here? We can send or share our widget themes. So with this link, we can share all the settings we've done to other people. The multi is for when you want to share all of them at once. And we also can have the launch URL for when we add those widgets to our OBS. We can have all of them listed here. So if I click here, we see the widget URLs. In the end, you always have to hit Save Settings, and then you're good. Alright, now that we're done with the My Account menu, we're going to have a look at the widgets. And the first widget we're looking at is the Alert Box. Alert Box is basically all the follow notifications, subscriber notifications, donation, hosts, bits, rates, and redemption notifications that pop up on your stream. So if you see on a stream that it says person X has followed the stream, thank you, this is an alert box. And if we click on it, we get to this screen. There we can actually choose which alerts we want to have activated. Our widget also has an URL, which we would have to copy as a browser source into our OBS. If you can't add a browser source in your streaming software, you can also launch it and capture it from here as a window capture. So if I, for example, test follow now, what we do is different. We copy it and do it in a tab. There we go, basically the same thing. We can do a test follow, and this is what it looks like. This is what it would look like on our stream now. Alright, so as you can see, down here we have test follow, test subscription, donation, hosting, bits, and rates. Then we have media sharing. Media sharing is a way that allows your viewers to play music on your stream when they pay for it. So what this does is, we can actually enable it or disable it here, and you can set the volume here. What it does is, they have to at least pay $5 for it. And the price per second is $0.1. And the max duration is 60 seconds. You can set those as you want. So what it does, if they want to send you a video that gets played on your stream, they have to pay at least $5. And for those $5, they can pay for every second. Every second costs $0.1, and they can buy 60-second max. So you would set this up a little bit if you want to play music, for example. It's a nice way to interact with your community and have them like show you music and get music running on your stream. Also be careful that it's not inappropriate and that it doesn't get too spammy, and just have a good moderation for this going. Then we have our general settings here. We can choose the background color, like every color we want to. We can have an alert delay, which is by default set to 5. We also can have unlimited alert moderation delay. So it sets the delay to unlimited, and you have to approve of every notification that should pop up. I would not recommend enabling this because it's a lot of work for not too much impact. So you would not like to have this enabled unless you get some heavy trolling going on in your chat. Then we have alert moderation delay, which we can set up as well. So this is another delay for your moderators so they can act if they want to. And we have unlimited media sharing, alert moderation delay enabled. So we can also have the media sharing moderation delay to unlimited. So you have to approve of every media share file your viewers want to send you. Then you can set the layout, like our notifications right now are text above, image above, text below. You can also have image and text in it. You can have image to the left, text to the right, however you want it. Don't forget to hit Save Settings, and then we can take more settings in our alerts, basically in the follow alert first. So what we have here is we have the follow alert enabled. Then we can set the layout again, so we can set layouts for all the different ones. We can set an alert animation. So let me run this real quick because we're gonna do a lot of testing here. We copy the URL again. There we go. This is our test box here. We can have alert animations. Right now we have fade in and fade out, which you will see right now. There we go. You see it fades in, it stays for a while, and then it fades out again in just a second. There we go. You can have different ones as well. You can fade in down and fade in right big and so on. Just get creative with those. You can also have an exit animation. We can have a different message template. So we now have name is now following. That's what's getting displayed. We can also only have the name if we don't want anything extra. We always have to save the settings first and then we test our settings. There we go. Now it's only the name. I'm also going to lower the volume a bit because it's a bit loud. Then we have a text animation. We can have rubber band or pulls, whatever you want. Get creative with those as well. And then you can set the picture. Most of them are GIFs. And you can change them right here. So this is one I've uploaded. This is my custom one for own TV. But we also have stock files here. And we have sounds and images. So you have stock sounds, stock images. You can upload your own sounds and images as well. And for example, I don't want the zombie, but I want the corgi. And I just selected, clicked on select, and there is my corgi. I also can change the sound here. Something that's... yeah, we take that. There we go. Hit the save settings. Sometimes you have to relaunch or recopy the URL. We're going to try it right now if it worked. There we go, it worked. Perfect. So now we have the corgi with the different sound. So what if I want to add my custom picture? I go and change media, go to my uploads. I can upload them right here. All files, and I upload my personal one, new follower. And when we test this, we will see that there is something wrong with it. Mainly, oops, this is probably the point where we have to refresh this. There we go. You see the text is too low. That's because we have text under picture. So for those kind of alerts, we want to have text in picture. We're going to save this again. And we test the follow again. We also have to refresh it again. Sometimes it takes a bit, so I'm not sure even if I have to refresh it all the time. There we go. Okay, now our text is in the picture, but it's too high. So what if I want to move my text now? What I have to do here is, and this is a bit complicated, I have to enable the custom HTML and CSS. And this box opens, and I want to go to CSS now. And we are looking for the, where is it? There we go, for the alert text. And what we're doing here is we're writing alert text and then padding minus top. And now we can move our text up and down. So the lower you go with this number, the lower your text will be. The higher you go, the higher your text will be. So I tested it before, and what works for me here is 100. It might be a bit different for you depending on your picture. So I would try 80, 100, 120, 140, and so on, until you have the settings you feel are perfect for you. I set this to 100. I go down here, save my settings again, go for a test follow. And it's lower. It's still not 100% perfect, but we're fine here actually. I would say that's okay for now. Then we can close this again. Oh, we can't close it, but we just leave it for now. And go to the last settings we got here. We have the alert duration, which basically means that's how long your alert is going to be displayed. And you can also set an alert text delay. So if there is text with your alert, it's at first the alert and then there is the text. So let's get an example here. If you have an animation and you want your text, the name or the is just following, name and is following, text pop up after the animation or at the end of the animation, you can set a text delay so the text comes after the animation. We also have font settings here, so we can have different fonts. We have different font sizes. Font weight is, I'm going to do an example here. So if we lower this, our font gets thinner and thinner. So we're going to have it like this. Save settings. We can also have highlight color and text color, but we're just going to leave these. So we went from 800 to 500. And if I do a test follow now, you see it got thinner again. There we go. We have variations, which is not that much of an issue right now. You can basically add parameters here for when something different should happen in this alert. So maybe it's after 200 follows, there is a different animation and so on. It's not very useful for follows, so I would not recommend doing anything here. Just leave this off for the follows. We're gonna get into those later on when they actually matter. Don't forget to hit save settings in the end, and we have set up our follows properly. Alright, we continue to our subscription settings in our alert box. There we go, subscriptions are enabled. We have picture below text, we're gonna leave this for now. Then we have alert animation again, we know this from before. We have show Prime subs. There is something called Twitch Prime. I talked about it in the previous part of this tutorial. If you want the Prime subs to show up as well, you have to enable them here. They are enabled by default. I would recommend to leave them on enabled because a sub is a sub, and if they sub with Twitch Prime, they support you as well. So why would you not show them? Then we have the message template again. Name, just subscribed. The animation, we know that as well. I'm gonna leave the zombie for now. You can also add your picture again. You can also move the text like before when you enable custom HTML CSS. If you haven't watched the follower part of the settings here, you have to watch the follower part where I explain how to work with this HTML and CSS to move your text. You can change the sound again, sound volume as well. Alert duration. So everything up until here, except for the Twitch Prime thing, is the same like before. And now we get to something new, which is the resub message. So a resub is when somebody subscribes to your channel for at least 2 months. So first month is call it just a sub, and from there on it's a resub. And you can resub for an unlimited amount of months. But there has to be no break in between to actually make it call a resub. Then they can send you a resub message. So when you resub, they can send a message with it. You can also allow emotes with this message. You can choose the font, font size, font weight, text color. And this is something really interesting as well. We can have resub message text to speech. So a voice is going to read the text the subscriber put into his subscription message. We can have spam security here as well. We can have the volume settings here as well. I'm going to enable it now and we're going to test it. So we're gonna save settings. Then we're gonna go up again. We're gonna test subscription. It might be a bit quiet. We're gonna hear it in a second.
This is a test.
All right, sound was okay. The URL wasn't right there, I think. Give me a second. Refresh this. Try it again. There we go.
This is a test.
There you see. Text was this is a test. Beautiful computer voice read it to us. It's really cool. A lot of big streamers do that, so they don't have to read all the subscriptions. Just make sure that it doesn't get too spammy. So if your channel really blows up and you get really big, you might want to have it like starting from a 5-month resub or so. How to set this up, we're going to have a look at this in a second. So next is font settings. And this is what I was talking about, the alert variations. I told you it doesn't really make sense with follows, but with a subscription, it really makes sense. So what we can do here is we can add different conditions under which something different happens in a subscription. So let's say we have 3 months plus. And then we can add the condition here. And we can say month subscribed is at least and 3. So if somebody has at least subscribed for 3 months, he will get something different, which could be different animation, different message. I don't know, maybe you want to have him louder, which doesn't really make sense, but why not? But you can also have a different image, for example. So what we can do here is we can change media. Let's go to the stock files and images. Our 3 months subscribers get the corgi again, because I do like corgis, if you haven't noticed yet. And afterwards we can hit the save. And then we have our first condition done. We can test it, edit it, duplicate it. We're going to test it. All right.
This is a test.
I have to refresh that again.
This is a test.
There is our corgi finally. So as you see, it's a bit tricky. Don't forget to hit the save settings button. This can really troll you from time to time. But we have our 3-month sub corgi. You might also want to set this up for gifted subs. There we go. So when somebody gifts a sub to somebody else, then we have a different message, for example. The gifter, the one who bought it, has gifted a sub to the one who gets it. That's a really cool thing as well to have. You also can have different picture, image and something like that. All of it works. So just make sure if you need them that you have the alert variations. I would really recommend to have the gifted one. The others are a nice to have, but not necessary. The gifted one is really great. The tier one is really great as well. You can have a tier 1, 2 or 3 subscription depending on how long you are subscribing right away. So if somebody subscribes with a tier 3 sub, for example, you might want to have a different alert for it as well. However you want it, get creative with it. Those are really cool actually. Of course, we not only want a subscription alert box, we also want a donation alert box, and for that we have some settings again. As you can see, it's pretty much the same as the subscription to follow in the beginning. It gets a bit different later on, but let's have a look at those. We can enable and disable donations. We can set the layout again. We know that. We know the alert animation. Those pretty much stays the same. And there we have the first difference. We can activate a text to speech. So what is text to speech? When somebody donates, he or she can write a message with their donation. And if we activate text to speech, their beautiful computer voice is going to read it out again. We can set a minimum donation amount to be read. So if we set this to 5, for example, people have to donate at least $5 or euro, depending on what you have enabled there, for it to be read out. Then we have spam security. So people can't spam the chat with with their messages. And we also have the volume. Let's see what it also does. Spam security also takes out the repeat letters like www, because this will get annoying and it will spam the chat. So you want to set this so it's appropriate for your community, depending on how many trolls you got in there and how you want to handle it. It's up to you. Some people also think the whole spam thing is fun and they leave it like that in. Alright, we have a minimum amount to alert, so this is set to 0. Every donation people make is going to trigger our alert. And with this setting, it's also going to trigger our text to speech if we have it enabled. We have the message again, the text animation, the image, sound volume, alert duration. We know all of these actually. We can also have donation GIFs. What does this do? It allows people to actually add a GIF to their donation text. And you can have it from your GIF library, so you are responsible for what's in there and people can choose from the GIFs you have put in there. You can also have GIFcat or GIF library enabled or disabled. There is also a minimum donation amount. We can have it before or during our alert from above, like this one. If we have during, it will replace our alert text settings. We have the maximum GIF duration, and that's basically it here. We can have donator message settings. So as I said, people can write their messages. We can show the message, allow emotes, minimum amount to show. We know that we can set the font size, font weight, and the text color. Of course, we have more font settings here for the general font, for this one actually. Where is it? The name, donation, amount thing. And we can have alert variations. So why would we have alert variations here? As your channel grows bigger and bigger, your donations will probably become higher and higher, or you will have those exceptional ones, you know, like the $200 donation, the $500 donation, where people really put a lot of money into your channel. If you want to give them some special treatment, of course you can have variations here with donation amount is at least, donation amount is exactly, donation is the largest this stream, so the highest donation for this stream yet. I've seen people do a lot of different stuff with donation amount is exactly. Some people have, for example, an extra donation for $6.90 and something like all those meme numbers, you know, you could play around with those and you can add the variations if you like them. I would really recommend do some alert variation to give your supporters a bit of an extra treatment. They do love that a lot. Don't forget to hit the Save Settings button in the end, and we have set up our donation alert box. Right next to our donation settings, we find our host settings. So what is a host? Usually a host is used to support other streamers, and most of the time it's done at the end of your very own stream, which also goes with the raid usually. So when you host somebody, your channel or the channel you're hosting is going to be shown through your channel. So if I host, for example, another streamer and people go on their own e-learning channel or their own learning channel, they will see what the other streamer is doing. You also, when you do it right at the end of the stream, send your viewers over to the stream you're hosting. So it's really a good way to connect with other streamers, build up a community of friendship with other streamers, maybe receive hosts back, but don't expect that. You can't expect somebody to host you just because you hosted him or her. So you definitely want to have this enabled. It really makes a bad picture of itself if you don't recognize hosts or if you don't have them enabled. Unless you are a really big streamer, then it's something different, but I'm going to talk about this right here at the viewer minimum, of course. So as you can see, it's like the ones before. We have layout, we have the animation, we know that already. We then have show auto host. So what is an auto host? We've been through this in an earlier chapter, but you also have the option to add channels to your auto host list, and they will get hosted automatically once they are online and you are offline and there is no manual host you've done before. So this could be something you want to have disabled because an auto host usually doesn't come with viewers, because that's usually just something that Twitch does automatically. They haven't been live before and so on. But in the beginning, why not enable this? Because people are recognizing you. You can say thank you. It looks good if something's happening on the stream. So in the beginning, you might want to have this enabled. At some point, the auto host messages might get too much and you want to disable it. You have to cite this for yourself. In the beginning, I would recommend having this unenabled. Viewer minimum at 0. Because in the beginning, you should be happy about every host and people recognizing your stream. If they host with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 viewers or more, it doesn't matter. Just accept it and you will really get a good response for that. Then we have the message template, we know that. We have the count, means that this is the number of people coming to your channel and this is the name of the person hosting us. Animation and image again. Sound, sound volume, duration, text delay, we know that. Custom HTML, CSS for the moving around of the text. If we don't have that much knowledge in HTML and CSS, there is more stuff possible, but the moving around the text is the most important for us probably. Font settings again. And we can also set variations. Not that interesting for hosts actually. We can have a viewers gained at least. I would not have something different here actually. It's not worth the time, and you should treat every host the same, you know? Besides that, we can copy the URL again. We can put it in a window here. And what we can do is we can test hosting. That's what it looks like. Own Learning is now hosting my stream with 553 viewers. Would be a nice host to receive there. The next thing we're configuring is actually very similar to the host. We have our rates. So what is a rate? A rate is pretty much the same as a host at the end of your stream. So if I'm going to stop my stream with, let's say, 100 viewers, I tell my viewers, okay, we're ending stream and we're going to rate somebody. And then I hit the rate command on Twitch and people can join this rate. So they actually can click on, okay, I want to be in there or I do not want to be in there. And when the countdown for the raid is over, everybody is automatically transferred over to the channel we're raiding. And over there is usually spam in the chat because you spam a custom message the streamer told you to spam. Like with the Own TV channel, usually if we raid someone, spam, you're getting owned. That's it. Then people spam that for a while, the streamer enjoys the raid and the fame, you get good reputation for raiding, and that's basically it. So it's another way to make connections with other streamers, make friends on Twitch that help each other out. So it's really important. That's why I would recommend have this raid alert on enabled, because if you miss a raid, people are gonna stop raiding you because they also want their notification to pop up. Then we have the layouts again, alert animation, as always, image and stuff like that, text delay, and so on. We have the font settings here, we know those already, we can change the font size, font weight, and so on. And we can have the variations. Party size is at least, I would have no variation at all here, because it doesn't make sense. Accept the rate, doesn't matter how big it is. If your channel really blows up, you might want to set like a limit or a minimum for it actually to be able to trigger. But in the beginning, have this on enable, enjoy the raids, thank them for raiding, ask them how they are, interact with them to make as many of the raiders stay in your channel. You want to have as many as possible stay in your channel and not leave after 10 seconds. Because if you don't mention and don't recognize them, they're going to leave. But if you start talking to them, you make them stay. And then you have to convince them to follow your stream. And from there on, your channel can grow faster than usual, faster than organic. So raids and hosts are really important, and be thankful to get them and accept them at any point of your streaming career. Another way of supporting a streamer financially is by giving them bits. And the bits option for our alert box we find right here. So what are bits? Bits is basically Twitch money you buy on Twitch. You buy bits yourself and you can give those bits to streamer, and every bit is worth 1 cent. So what's the difference between a normal donation and bits? If you do a normal donation and there is a refund for this donation, the streamer has to take care of it. So it's not a very secure way if people are trolling you with refunds. With bits, if there is a refund, Twitch takes care of that. So if you give somebody bits, they definitely receive it. They can't be refunded from the streamer. There can be refunds from Twitch, but Twitch takes care of that. So that's basically the difference here. So again, we have our settings, alerts enabled. Definitely want to have those enabled, because If somebody supports you financially, you want to recognize that and you want to say thank you. Animation, we have the text to speech again, so we can have this enabled, and minimum amount of bits to be read out. We can have the voice, spam security again, so all the repetitive letters and so on get cut out here. We have the volume, and we have the minimum bits to actually trigger the alert. You want to have this on 0 in the beginning. Later on, or if somebody starts trolling you, you can set this up to, I don't know, 100 or something like that, because people can donate 1 bit after 1 bit after 1 bit. And if you have, especially if you have the text to speech and the minimum bit alert at 0, this can get spammy and can get trolly. In the beginning, I would recommend having this on 0, maybe have the text to speech alert higher up. We have the message, the text animation image again, all this stuff we already know. We have the bits message settings again, so the message people can type when they give you bits. You can also have a minimum amount to show. This I would recommend leave on 0 in the beginning, because the message doesn't really hurt you. We have the font size, font weight, and so on, we know that. Then we have the font settings for our alert, for actually this message here. And we can have the variations if we want to say, I don't know, the amount of bits is at least 500, they get a different GIF or a different message or a different sound and so on. So you can get creative with those as well. If there are really high bit donations coming in, you might want to treat them with a little bit extra. As I said, people do like that and they do appreciate that if you treat them with some extras there. In the end, as always, hit the save button and you're good. The next tab we're looking at under the widgets menu is the goals tab. So we can set different goals for our streams, mainly donation goals, follower goals, and bit goals. So as you can see, a goal would look like this. This is the sample goal. You can set the title, how long it should go, and this is the amount. So let's set up a donation goal here. We can have manage goal. We want to have this goal. Our goal is rent May. Then the goal amount should be, I don't know, 30. It's very little rent we have to pay here. Then starting amount, depending on if you already have received money like before or not, you can have a starting amount. We're gonna have this at, I don't know, we already have 5 euro. Because we carried this over from last month, and it ends, if it's May, it ends on this month, May 31st in 2018. What else can we set up here? We can have different layouts. We can have different background colors. Oh, this is the background for the launching page. That's why it's not changing up here. We can have a different text color. Here we go. We can have a different bar text color. You can play around with this as much as you want. Get creative here. This is the bar color. Now we are changing this one. Let's have this, I don't know. Let's leave it like this. And our background color is for the stuff we haven't reached yet. All right, then we can have the bar thickness. Different font. And we have the HTML, CSS stuff if we want to change something or some advanced settings here. All right, we go back to manage goal. We click on start donation goal. There we go. This is the sample goal. This is the rent May goal. It's color-wise, I have set it up very poorly here because red on red, but you see where I'm going with this. Those are the 5 euros we already got. This is the stuff we're missing. We see we have 5 euros, 16.67% already done, 48 days to go. If we click on launch, or let's copy the URL and put it in here. There we go. This is what it looks like. The same goals can also be set for your followers. So we click on follower goal right here. And there we see we already have a my sample goal, but we can set this up for followers as well. Let's have follower goal May. I don't know, we want to have 50 followers. We already have 30 of them. And we end this on the 31st. No, wait, it's May 31st of 2018. We can also have settings. Same as before. We can have different text color again. I want to have this white. Then we're going to have this white as well. Then we're going to change this back to green. There we go. And the bar background color should stay red. And then we have different font again and the enable custom HTML CSS. And don't forget to hit the save settings button. I might have forgotten that in the last part. So always hit the save settings here so it gets saved. Then we go to manage goals. Then we can start a follower goal. We can have my goal right here. Now we can launch it. And it's displayed here. White background is not very beneficial for the text, but you play around with that. You set it up as it is good for you. The last goal we can set for our stream is a bit goal, which is pretty much the same as a donation goal, except for its bits. So let's say we have May bit goal. Everything is happening in May this time. We want to have 100 bits in May, which is around $1. Actually, it is $1. We have no starting amount this time, and we have May 31st, 2018. We have the settings again. As always, the different colors, fonts, and sizes. We click on save. We manage the goal. We can start the bit goal here. There we go. Now we can set it to my goal and we can launch it again. There we go. And this is our May bit goal. I would recommend not setting up all three of them because it might look a bit needy. I would recommend setting up one of them, two of them at max, but just make sure they are appropriate. Like if you're averaging 3 viewers, don't set up a 2,000 euro donation goal because it looks weird. Maybe a follower goal would be more your size than if you averaged 3 to 5 viewers. If donations are starting to come in, why not set up a donation goal? Or maybe you set up a donation goal for a giveaway. You say, if we get $500 in donations, we will give away a $100 Steam gift card. Whatever you want, get creative. But those donation goals and bit goals and so on, they can really drive people into helping you out. Another fun widget you can add to your stream is the Streamboss. So if we click on Streamboss, we will see what this is all about. We see this is what is going to be displayed. And Kevin is our first Streamboss here. And Kevin has 3,600 HP out of 4,800 HP. So somebody hit him already. How can you hit the Streamboss? The Streamboss is getting hit with donations, follows, and so on. We can see it here. Damage per follower is set to 5, damage per bit is set to 1, damage per subscriber is set to 300, damage per dollar donation is set to 200. We have fade time here. And you see, if we set this to 0, it will stay on your screen all the time. If we set this to 10 seconds after the bit boss got hit, it will fade away again, so it doesn't cover your screen all the time. We can have different themes for this. Can get creative with those. Different kill animations. We can't see those right now. We see them when we actually test them. We can have the transparent background. We can't see this. Refresh to see changes. Okay, give me a second. Let's save this. And then we change it. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So you don't see it right here, but you see it when you launch it. We can have the text color, health text color, and so on, all the different colors and fonts. And we have the custom HTML and CSS again. So let's set up our Bitboss or Streamboss actually. We have starting health 10,000. Let's make him 300. There we go. You can have different modes. You will read the description of the modes here. So the boss will spawn with the set amount of health every time. Or you can have it, the boss will have additional health each time he is defeated. The amount is set below. And we have the boss health will change depending on how much damage is dealt on killing blow. So the more damage is dealt on killing blow, the higher the health on the next spawn would be. We have an overkill multiplier, overkill health. We just have this on fixed. Alright, then we have set Streamboss health, and there we go. Now we are talking. We have owned learning as our Streamboss here. We have 300 HP. We can, oh, it's not here, so we have to copy the URL again. There we go, we copy it in here. There we go. So transparent background now, and we have owned learning as our Streamboss. And if we test a donation now, there we go. We got hit for 2.6k, and John is our new Bitboss because John did the donation. It's a really fun thing to actually have your viewers play around with that or give them some extras when they support you. It's not a must-have though. I see a lot of people were using it when it came out, when it was new. Now that it's a bit out, people are actually getting rid of it. You don't see it that often anymore. Might still be an interesting thing for your community. You have to decide if you actually have it on your stream or not. To implement it into your stream, you just copy the widget URL and you capture it from here if it works. There we go. This is the old one. It's not actually updating right now, but you can capture it from here, or you copy this link into your OBS as a browser source. The next widget is called the Eventlist. So when we click on Eventlist and we wait a second, we already see what this is going to be all about. It's basically a feed of things that happen on your stream or that happen on your stream displayed in a list, and they're gonna get like added time after time. And this is what you would see on your screen, and it would stay there. I mean, we can have the option so it goes away, but we're gonna talk about this in a second. So as you see, updated tier 1 game with, and he or she donated $1,569 and so on. So we can say how it should look like. There we go, like retro or whatever. We're gonna have the theme color, this, and then we can enable event. So we definitely want to have our follows in there. We want to have our donations in there, subscriptions. Show resubs, of course. So show sub tiers, why not? We can have hosts in there. Auto hosts I would not recommend, but if you want to, why not? And we can also have our rates in there. And you see it's going to change in a second. There is the host for 1005 people. It's a really nice thing to have. Once you have an overlay or something, you might not want to use it, but play around with it. You might like it. We can have more settings like the minimum viewers for hosts, so it gets displayed. Minimum bits, minimum raters, so they get displayed. Maximum events, like how many events are going to be displayed at once before they like drop out of the list. We can have a different background color. This is just for the preview though. Different text color, different font size, animation speed, wait time. So if we set this to 4 seconds, for example, if there is no event happening for 4 seconds, the whole bar is going to fade away. If you use it, I would recommend you to have this on 0. We can flip it on the x-axis and on the y-axis. We can keep events history so they do not get deleted. And then we have our custom HTML and CSS if we want to do some pro adjusting here. So as I said, without an overlay, This might really be an interesting thing to have, even with an overlay. If you have it somewhere small, it might be an interesting thing to have still. We can have a test donation here again if we want to. There we go, that's a test donation here. And again, if you want to have it in your stream, you either launch it and copy this link or capture it from here. Or you can copy the link in there. Since we're talking about bits and donations all the time here, we also want to have a look at the jar. So, as we said, we can call our donations in our stream, we can call them tips. And for tips, you usually have a tipping jar where people throw in the tips. And that's what you can have on your stream as well. So, first of all, you have to set which events you want to enable. We want to have all of them here. Then we have to choose a tipping jar. We're going to take this one. We have the HTML, CSS again. That's fine. We can show the text. We'll see what this is about later on when we test it. But actually, there's a text running in your stream then. So like somebody has tipped X amount or something, and then the thing drops into the jar. But you will see in a second. Font and text color is fine. Font size. We can have minimum bits here. Let's set the minimum tip as well. We set this to 0. Green background color, why not? And now we can have different emojis for tips and follow. So for follows, it takes our profile picture. This is fine. And here it takes the bronze coin, silver coin, gold coin. You can change those. I don't know if they have stock files for that. Or you can have the GIFs as well here. So let's try this. I want to have the corgi again. There we go. We save the settings. And what is going to happen now? So first of all, we copy the URL and then we link it here. There we go. This is our tipping jar. Might be a bit bright, but hopefully you will see this. So if I test a tip or donation, there we go. This is the text I was talking about. And in the testing, it doesn't show anything dropping here for donations. This is a problem Streamlabs has with the testing, but in the stream it should work. But if we test the follow here, there we go. This is our emoji. And once it's over the tipping jar, it drops. Perfect. And we have the first thing in our tipping jar. We can test the bits as well. There we go. Here goes our bit and it drops. Perfect. We can have the same thing for subs. Here comes a subscription. There we go. This is the sub emoji we got. Or like our sub chat badge. And we can have the resub as well. There we go. So it's a really neat thing for people to have because, again, if they support you, they get some extra, you know? They get something dropping down on the screen and they might kick out a different emoji or another emoji out of the tipping jar. People do really like that. And I think it's very easy to set up and it looks good. And people do usually like that a lot. So I would recommend set this up. Maybe not right in the beginning because it might take a while for your tips and donations. But actually you have the follows. So you can set this up right in the beginning. Just be aware that it probably mostly follows in the beginning. Alright, so the next widget we're looking into gets a bit more technical, but it's a very handy feature because the stream labels is actually what allows us to add our most recent follower, most recent donator, top donation this month, and so on to our screen, to our stream, and it actually makes it stay there. So it's not like the feed that went down we saw before, what was it called, Eventlist. It stays there. And for this, you need an extra Streamlabs app called Streamlabs. You go on Streamlabs and you can download it here, depending on what system you're working on. I downloaded it for Windows, and it made me install it, and I had to authorize it, and I had to type in my password again, and then I had to choose a folder. And it's actually a good recommendation from my side to make an extra folder for that, because it creates a lot of text files. So if you just put it to one of your drives, it's gonna spam all of those text files in there. So I can show you what I've done here. There we go. I made a Streamlabs folder, and that is what the app created here. So make a separate folder for that. It comes in very handy and keeps everything clean. Good, and once we downloaded it and started it, it looks like this. So we see recent events here, and we have Bob Larone has just followed. I've done this, so we have one event and we can see that. Live actions, we can, through this app, we can spin our wheel, and we can roll our credits. We have talked about those earlier. We're gonna get into the credits and spin wheel widget later on. You see it's like right here, spin wheel and roll credits, but you can spin the wheel from here and start it. We can choose a different folder if we want to. We can log out. We can refresh our session. I'm not going to do this right now. We can have different settings for this. So this is what we see here in our, give it a second, it's a bit slow sometimes. At the recent events, we can actually set up what it's saying, or what is going to be displayed on our screen later on. That's actually more like it. And for most recent donation, for example, we have set up name and amount. And we can have this set up for everyone, or everything. We can have top cheers, we can have it as a list, we can have different item template, item separations, and so on. So depending on what you want to display, you might want to do some adjustments here, so it gets displayed the way you want it. I'm just going to leave it the way is it. I'm not going through all of them because there are descriptions here, and it would take too much time to go through all of them. Usually you want to have most recent donation, most recent tip, top donation, and so on. So feel free to play around with it. There is like not much you can destroy here. All right. So what are we going to do with all these text files we created? And how are we going to set this up in our stream? Oh, before I forget, we can also skip alerts from here. So it's a very handy menu as well. But most important thing is you have to have this running for your stream. So this app can write the events into the text files, and if they are written in there, they get displayed right. So I had it open when Bob Larone followed, and now I'm gonna have Bob Larone showing up as my most recent follower on my stream. How are we doing this? We go into OBS, and there is my face. You can see me working now. So what we want to add here, we want to add a text file. And we call this most recent follower. Make sure you label it right, because you want to add like, I don't know, 3, 5 of them, so you don't get confused later on. Then we have OK here, and we come into this screen. What we do here is we can choose the font, it's fine. We can choose colors and so on. But what we actually want to do here is we want to have it read from file. And then we have to choose the file. And I'm in the folder I created for Streamlabs. And now I want to see my most recent follower. And this is why I select the most recent follower text file. And you see, that's the preview already. We can make it bigger or smaller here, font-wise. I would recommend having the font set right here and not when you can drag it drop here, because those fonts do not scale that well. So it's better to make adjustments here than making them outside. So we're gonna have this on 20. 20 might be a bit small. Let's have this up to 26. Something like that. We can have all the different settings, color, opacity, background color, and so on. I'm gonna leave that for now, because now it's important that we actually display our recent follower, because we have all the color settings in our overlay already. So here we go. This is our latest follower displayed. It was Bob Larone. We're gonna put him up on, oh, we have to hit the control button so it doesn't snap here. on top of here, latest follower, blah, blah, blah. If somebody else is following now, this is going to be exchanged automatically. And that's the good thing here, that it does this automatically and over and over and over again. So you don't have to take care of it anymore once you have set it up correctly. You can have this for donation today or for most recent donation actually. You can have the biggest donation of all time, but you can also have latest subscriber or today follower count and so on. You have all the text files and they all save different information. And depending on what information you want to display, you have to choose a different text file. So again, very handy widget here. Definitely would recommend using it. It's a bit technical to set up, but I gave you a short tutorial on it, so you should be fine to work with it right now. Alright, right after stream labels, we get back to a less technical widget here, the donation ticker. And if we wait a second, we see what this is all about. As you can see, it got our donations running through our screen. Again, we can copy it as a browser source into OBS or capture it as window capture if we click on launch and the window opens. What can we do here as well? We can have a different message format. So this is the name and the amount. I would stick with that. Don't get like too much in there. If these are too many donations and you want to display less, you can have it set up here. You can have, let's say, only 5. Or the last 5 donations you got. That's actually more like it. You can have different scroll speed. Have it really fast again for one time. Oh wait, that's faster. There we go. So it takes 2 seconds to scroll through completely. It takes longer, but it gets faster the more you get to the left. You can have different background color. You can have different font size, font weight, all the things we know already. So it's really neat to display all your donations. And it's a very easy way to have multiple donations or the most recent donations on screen. Don't forget to hit the Save Settings button in the end, and you are good to go. You simply have to copy this or launch it here and capture it, and you can display it on screen very easily. With the chat box widget, we can display our Twitch chat on screen. And some people do like to display their chat on screen for viewers who actually watch your stream in the full screen mode, because then they also can have the chat experience. They can't type, but they can also read. There are different reasons you want to implement it into your screen, but I feel like most streamers do this for people who watch in full screen. I know there is also the cinema mode with Twitch, but some people do prefer watching in full screen. And as you can see, this is what it looks like right now. It just displays the chat on our screen. We can have different themes here. Let's have it boxed, for example, or let's have it the Twitch style. We can actually choose what is going to be displayed. So the moderation badges or subscriber badges. Let's take the moderation badges out. There you go. All of them are gone. Subscriber badges are still in there. We have Twitch Turbo badges here, Twitch Prime badges as well, and Bits badges. So whatever you want to have displayed badget-wise, you can choose it here. You can enable Better Twitch TV and Franca Faces emotes. You can have a different background color, but as it says here, only for preview. So it's not displayed in black on your screen. Text color can be chosen. Font size can be chosen. It actually adjusts right here as well. Then we can have hide messages after 15 seconds. So right here in the preview, the chat is going all the time. But if there is not that much going, you can have it hide after 15 seconds. So if there's no message after 15 seconds, it's going to be hidden, or every message is going to be hidden after 15 seconds. We can hide most common chatbots. We can hide commands starting with an exclamation mark if you don't want it to get too spammy because people are spamming commands for whatever reason, or if your bot is like putting messages out after a specific amount of time. We can also mute chatters if somebody is trolling regularly and you don't want to have him in there, you can simply like maybe ban meme lord. Oh, let's have it like this. There we go. And now meme lord 1337 is not going to be displayed here anymore in the chat. HTML CSS settings for advanced settings if you know what to do there. Save settings. And we copy the widget URL and put it in as a browser source, or we launch it again, just as we see it here. Oh, it's not displaying here. Okay. Let's try it like this. Oh, because it's not displaying the preview, obviously, I think we would have to do it like this, that's why. Test and test again. There we go. Obviously, white background and white text is not the smartest thing to do here, but you see, it starts displaying things. Viewer count is pretty much self-explanatory because the only thing it does is showing how many viewers you got on screen. I actually do not like knowing how many viewers I've got, and I feel like everyone who's watching your stream knows it because of the Twitch interface, but if you really do wanna show it on screen, you have this option to display it. Again, widget URL is here. We can have set background for the preview. Then we can have different viewers, like we can have Mixer, YouTube, and Twitch viewers. If you're multi-streaming, for example, there's the possibility to stream to all of these platforms at the same time, then you might want to have more of them checked here. Then we have different font, we have different font size, font weight, text color, and the custom HTML CSS. That's basically it. The only thing it does is displaying how many viewers you got right now, and that's it. Save settings. Copy or launch it, put it into your OBS, XSplit or whatever, and then you're good. The spin wheel is a really great widget for example, giveaways, depending on what you want to do with it. But your default settings are t-shirt, mousepad, and water bottle, and you're going to see what this is all about in a second. Again, here's the widget URL if you want to implement it into your stream. We have the section weight. So what we're going to see in a minute or so, we will see a spinning wheel and it will say t-shirt, mousepad, water bottle, and it will say those repeatedly. You see all the time. And all of them are in different sections. And if I want to have, for example, the mousepad in a smaller section because it should be more rare, I can have this here. So I can also delete those sections. Let's actually have a few of them gone. There we go. So we're gonna try and have it like it would be a real giveaway. There we go. So we have the mousepad is probably the cheapest one here. So we're gonna have this at 4. Then the t-shirt is at 3. We're gonna add a section here. Now we have to add a category, sorry. We're gonna also have a mouse. There we go. Mouse. And this is the most expensive one. So we have mouse, mousepad, mousepad we have twice. Let's go for this. Then we have the t-shirt. Put the t-shirt out as well. There we go. We're gonna give away a mousepad, a t-shirt, a mouse. And we already have the water bottle. So we add a section and we're gonna have the water bottle. So there we go. So this should be the smallest one because it's the most expensive one. Then we have the mousepad, which is cheapest one. We have the t-shirt and the water bottle. Something like this, okay? That defines how big those sections actually are. Then we have the result template. So this is going to be displayed after the spinning wheel stopped. So we say we have chosen a viewer and we spin the wheel for him. And it says you have won or you won a mousepad. We can have different font and a different font size, font weight, text color, label text height, so how big they are. Then the width. We can have result color, border color, inner border, all the different colors and font options here. This is the speed, that's how fast the wheel is spinning. That's the slowdown rate, so the way it gets slower. And we can have hide timeout, so it will show at all time if this is set to 0. If we set this to 1 or 2 of whatever, it will hide after it's finished spinning. So you usually want to have this like, I don't know, at something like 6 or so. I don't feel like you want to have the spinning wheel displayed at all time, unless you're doing like a spinning wheel stream, I don't know. The ticker image can be changed, the ticker size can be changed, ticker tone as well. Then we can have center image enabled, and this is the center image. This probably will not work because it's not the right size. It had chosen my Twitch channel profile picture here again by default. Center image size, center image border, and so on. All the image options. I think you already know what those all do because we've seen those quite a bit. In the end, we have to do save settings. And now we can copy the URL. We put it in here. But if we spin it. There we go. Okay, let's have it different. Because we chose actually to fade it out. That's what was the problem here. We copied the URL. There we go. And if we spin it here, it's getting displayed. There we go. And the mousepad. You see, I would have to do some adjustments with my labels here, but somebody won the mousepad. So it's a really neat tool for giveaways, and you really should play around with it because it's a very creative way to give away things, and people do like some visualization with this, and they like how it feels like super random because the wheel is spinning and something like that. It very much feels like the game show, and that's what people like. Streamlabs also allows us to create a wish list. So what is a wish list? Well, basically what it says, it's a wish list for you, and you can add items in there which you want to get. And if any viewer decides to buy you something from this wish list, he can find it on your donation page, and it will force him to actually donate the amount of money the item is worth. So we will see this in a second. First of all, we have to add a wish list item. And I have already chosen that on my wish list I want the, there we go, Logitech G502 Protoy Spectrum RGB and so on. So very easy, you can actually import Amazon links in here, and it fills out everything already. So we can shorten the name here a little bit, so that's actually more than enough. There we go, the item price stays, it's US dollar, and it also chooses an image. You can fill all these things out by yourself as well, but importing them is the lazy way to do it. Then we save the item, and it appears right here. We can edit it if we want to, we can delete it here. So what has happened now, if we go to our donation page, which I'm doing through my donation settings, and we click on this. There we go. This is our donation page, so people can donate money here and so on, but they also have the wish list option now, and they can select my mouse right here. And what it does now, it does not let me change anything here. I have to donate $45.99 US dollars. Can't do anything. I can have a message, I can have a different username, but it forces me to donate this amount of money, so the streamer can actually buy his new mouse from your donation. Maybe hardware or peripheral things are not really good to put in there, but if you want to have games or something like that, you can also put a Steam link on there or put a game on there with the price and so on. So it's really cool, so people can not only just throw random money at you, they can also donate to you with a reason. the last widget we're looking at is one of my favorites because I do love the idea of it. It's called credits, and it's, again, it is what it says because it's credits, and you can see here, this is what it looks like right now. You can say thank you at the end to everyone who supported you by rolling the credits at the end of your stream, and I do love the idea. So again, copy and launch right here. We can have different themes for that. This is the default one. We had the Star Wars one before. Geometric one. Let's take the crawl here. We can have the title. Thank you all, for example. Yeah, it actually takes it right there. Then we have subtitle. Thank you for supporting. We can have you are amazing. There we go. Thank you all. You're amazing. Background color, of course. Then we have the fonts here. We have the font size, text color. Then we can include or exclude certain alerts. Like if we don't want to have followers in there, we can put them away. If your stream like grows really huge and you have 10k followers a day, you might do not want to display followers, but subscribers and donations and so on. Then how do we want to call all of them? We can call the followers like, I don't know, fans, and the subscribers and resubs we call super and super fans and so on, and it should be displayed right here. 1 fans, there we go, super and super fans, subscriber, and so on. So that's what we can do here. Moderators, we can loop the whole thing, we can have a delay on it, we can have roll speed and roll time. So this is like, if you want to set my credit should roll for 30 seconds, you choose this. If you want to say, okay, it should be slow or fast, you can choose this one. And the HTML and CSS. We click on Save Settings, and if I go to launch right there, nothing is happening because in my latest stream, there was nothing happening because we are online with the Owned Learnings account and we didn't get any streams out there yet. But if we test roll credits, there we go. That one should work now. As you see, it's right there. This is the test one. If you take this one, it's actually the stuff that happened in your stream, of course. All right, now that we're done with the widgets, we can have a look at the community and growth menu. And with that, we go to Twitch extensions and overlay, loyalty, leaderboard, stream schedule, and countdown. I'm gonna tell you all of it in a second. So first of all, we have overlay and loyalty. So there is an extension for loyalty points. So people earn points when they are in your stream and they can do things with those points. We'll see in a second. And there is also an overlay over your screen where they can click and do some request songs and so on. But I'm going to show you. So we go and install on Twitch. And then it shows us this button here, install on Twitch. When we click on it, it gets us to this extension and we can install it. And it says it's an all-in-one tool. Your viewers can earn loyalty points, request songs, vote in polls, enter giveaways, and so on. So this is a very powerful extension. If you want to have loyalty settings, you want to have this installed. There are also other extensions from Streamlabs, sorry. We can have a schedule and countdown, which is in a panel. So let's have a look into it. There we go. This is a panel and you will see this is your schedule and this is a countdown for events. So this is another extension Streamlabs has. And whoops, give me a second. Streamlabs. There we go. This is the all-in-one tool and we have the leaderboard. There we go. Another panel thing we have a leaderboard of who got the most points in our stream, so who was watching the most. People do enjoy those leaderboards quite a bit, don't underestimate them. Alright, let's go back here. So we have installed it now, then we go on next. We have to activate it. We've shown how to activate extensions in the previous tutorial, so just make sure you watch the extensions part of the Twitch setup tutorial here. Then we can import points. We have talked about it earlier already. Here we can do it again. Import from Stream Elements. If you change from Stream Elements to Streamlabs, you can import the Stream Elements points into Streamlabs so people don't lose their points. Then you have a currency name. We call them own points here. Then we can set the frequency of the own points so people get them every 10 minutes. And they get 1 or up to 10. So they get 10 every 10 minutes. Then people can also open the chests. And this is something that happens on the overlay extension here. So there is a chest spawning. You have to click it. And then you get points for opening that chest. And the frequency of the chest drops is 10 minutes. Then percentage of views to get a chest, 50%. You can like put those around however you feel it's good. And chests do expire after 10 seconds. And here we can add rewards. So those are things people can buy with their hard-earned points. As it says here, select a few of the popular pre-made options below to get started and then add as many custom rewards as you want later. So you can add the rewards later on. Here are some pre-made for you. Let's have, I don't know, maybe somebody wants to be mod for a day and this costs like, I don't know, 1,000 points, but he can be mod for a day. People, for some reason, are crazy about the mod thing. Mod forever, truth or dare, and so on. You have some pre-made options here. You can read through them, you can choose them, you can add your custom ones later on as well. People can also play games in the overlay, like pick a card. It's a minigame where a viewer picks 1 out of 5 cards. The selected card will flip over, and if they're lucky, they can win 2 times, 3 times, and even 5 times their wager. Sorry. Then we have scratchers. You can read through those. Those are games they can play on your overlay. They kind of can gamble with their points, and they do like that as well. And here comes the important part. For your currency to be given away correctly, you have to have the recent events open. And you can do this through your dashboard and pop out the recent events tab. You can also have stream labels opened, and you can click here as well. There we go. This is the recent event tab, and you can have this open right here. I think you can pop it out here as well if you want to have it popped out. Oh, we're good here, I think. Yes. So here we have advanced settings as well. We can reset the points, reset the onboarding, turn it off and on. We can manage our users, so we can add points or we can add points to all users. We can have rewards, or we can pick different rewards. We can also create a new reward here. That was I was talking about. Maybe get a owned cup. There we go. And you could choose an image here. I don't think I have an owned cup image here. Oh, see, there is one. I mean, it's the wrong one, but there we go. We're gonna choose this one. Can't even crop it. There we go. That's what it's going to look like. We're gonna upload this. Then we can have how much it should cost. We set it to a lot. Have fun with the cup. I need your address. There we go. This is the information you might need from people when they do redeem their cup. So you might need their address, you might need their zip code and so on, everything you need to send it to them. And you can have further description, and then you can go and add reward. There we go. And that is what our new reward looks like. In addition to the whatever mod for a day thing. Then we can have an overlook over the games again. This is actually the chest thing going on here. I'm sorry. So this is the chest game. We can have the settings here. We can have the point settings again. You can even have like reward settings, like points for a follow. If somebody's following, we give him 55 points. For a sub, they get 111. For a host, they get 10, for example. And points per 100 bits. So you can reward your viewers for doing something as well. And we can block people like bots, especially when you have the leaderboards going. You don't want your bot to be on top because he's there all the time. And if somebody's abusing it, you can ban him as well from the whole thing. We can see the redemption. So if somebody bought a reward, we can see them here. So we get an overview. If we have like 10 cups to send, we see them here. And we've been through the advanced settings as well. So I would really recommend having those loyalty settings on, especially the points and the rewards thing, because people do love to earn those points in your stream. And it's a good way to connect with your viewers and to keep them coming back over and over again. The next tab we're looking into is the Chatbot tab. So here you can download the Streamlabs Chatbot, which is another chatbot like StreamElements, Chatbot or AnkBot and so on. They help you with your stream currency, with all the music you want to play in there, or the music your viewers want to recommend to you. They also take care of some kind of moderation and so on. It's a really powerful tool. It's really big. So that's why I'm not going into detail right there. We're gonna add a separate tutorial for that in the future. If you need some help now, there are some tutorials right here with Twitch documentation, YouTube documentation, Mixer documentation. You should be good if you read through those as well. This is all the things the Chatbot can do for you. So as you see, especially for Twitch, it is a really, really, really powerful tool. I would recommend downloading it, checking it out, playing around with it, and read the documentations if you don't know what to do. We can also have a look at the All-Stars. So you can apply to become a Streamlabs All-Star. What would you get from it? Instant access to Streamlabs minions, for example, Sport Adobe All-Star hoodie, early access to new features, and so on. So this is basically the partner program Streamlabs offers, and you get some extra goodies if you are a Streamlabs All-Star. Really cool. The guys there do really cool things. You should apply here. If your channel like got a decent size, you should apply here definitely, because you get cool things and good support from them. We can also have a look at the resources. We can have a look at the changelog. So this shows everything that happened in the past, or every changes they made to Streamlabs in the past. We can contact support here. As you can see, we can click here and we can ask for help. There's also guides, frequently asked questions, troubleshoot, and suggestions. Then we can find the blog here. There we go. So they are also writing a blog with new articles on what they're planning and how they're doing and stuff like that. Then we can have a look at community and support. We have seen that one already. Feature and suggestions. So you can suggest new features to Streamlabs, and you can do this right here. You can also vote for them, and the most voted, or the most commented, and with the most positive response, they will actually try to implement those. So if you have a great suggestion, what they could add to Streamlabs, you can add your suggestion right here. So add a new idea, and then you can write it down. There we go, now it works. Takes a bit to load, but here you could write it down. We can also have a look at their Twitter. There we go. This is their Twitter account. You can follow them and check it out there. And they also have a YouTube where they offer tutorials as well. So you see there's Streamlabs again, stuff like that. So if you get stuck somewhere in Streamlabs, you can also check out their tutorials on YouTube.